Now, let's try to understand the image or the form of Hayagreeva. He has a horse head and a human body. And I need to at least talk to you for about a few hours in order to understand the symbolism of horse and what the horse represents. And there are so many books about the horse and what it symbolizes. The horse can do a lot of miracles. It has the highest consciousness. There is a saying in yoga, breathe like a horse and not like a dog. The horse will run a race and will not pant. The dog will sit in your air-conditioned room and still pant. Why? Because the horse has mastered its breath. And what is the breath? Breath is intelligence. The horse can cure you. And I have asked in my earlier video to go and look at Martin Buber and the horse and how he was enlightened instantaneously through the help of the horse. Now you can understand that the horse is simply not an animal. It is some being that can give you the highest intelligence. And that intelligence comes to you through the breath energy of the horse. Horse can give you how to regulate your breath, because breath is consciousness. Breath is life. If the breathing leaves your body, you die. So the breathing, instead of just going into the lungs, it is a very complicated technology. But that the yogis and siddhas use, they don't breathe at all. They can completely internalize the breathing and then send the breathing to the brain. There won't be any lung breathing involved at all. The lung breathing will subside and go into the brain. At that time, breath and the life force are one and the same. So that's why there is a saying among the siddhas, who is God? God is the air. And what is the air? And that is life. Air is life. But not the air which is oxygen, nitrogen, or any physical air, but it is the spiritual one. The oxygen, of course, contains parts of this divine airs, out of which prana is the most important one. Even within the divine air, invisible, there are at least 10 different ones. Dasavayu in Sanskrit. And the prana is the most important one. So and Hayagreeva can teach you all that instantaneously. And this can happen even when you go to near a horse and then you are very alert. You will be able to get a lot from the horse. And the horse can change your breathing pattern. And the nostril breathing will stop, and then you will the breath will get into the brain, the midbrain particularly, and then eventually into the pineal gland. That's where you can have a great experience. And Hayagreeva changes you, evolves you through this process. Mythologically speaking, he is the God who just incarnated in order to retrieve the Vedas. The Vedas are the textbooks of wisdom of the ancient Indians. And the book contains about all the siddhi powers that you can attain just by mastering your consciousness. It is not just material sciences, modern sciences, it is a spiritual science. There are 4 of them. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Dharvana Vedas. These 4 texts deal with mastery of human consciousness and gaining power and then liberation from the embodiment. That is the content of all the 4 Vedas. And these Vedas were on the earth plane, and then according to mythology it was stolen by demons, and then Hayagreeva incarnated to retrieve these wisdom from the demons, and he killed the demons, and then he brought the Vedas into this earth plane back. Now, you have been familiar with Joseph Campbell's interpretation of the myths. The myths are eternally true. They have different layers of meaning. The narrative, which is the story aspect, is literally true too. It's not just, it is a symbolism. It is true. It is true that Hayagreeva as God does exist in another plane, and then he can be accessed through a statue or your mind imagining his form. And that is going to be tremendously important for lifting up your consciousness. And that's the reason why I had to speak about the horse's head. And the horse itself is a divine animal of a higher intelligence, and then that can give you instantaneous enlightenment. So nothing is here a superstition. So they are beyond our rationalistic understanding. The problem with science and technology is we have to reduce everything to human reasoning. That's where the problem starts. But if you go into a different realm, then reality changes. So Hayagreeva does exist, and today is his descent into this earth plane. And then if you connect with him, then there will be the highest intelligence. And why do we have the highest intelligence? Because everything is based on your intelligence.